After your project plan is approved, it's important to save target values like dates, work hours, and cost in a baseline. Project also keeps track of actual values you record and the current forecast of the schedule. Before you evaluate performance in project, it's important to understand what baseline, scheduled, and actual values represent. Well, the Gantt chart shown here doesn't show the baseline. So let's go to the Tracking Gantt. On the View tab, click the bottom half of the Gantt chart button and choose Tracking Gantt. If you don't see it in this menu, you can always choose More Views. Scroll down until you see the view, click it, and then click Apply. I'm also going to apply the baseline table. So I click the Tables button, choose More Tables, then select Baseline and click Apply. Now in this view, you can see baseline values, and you can also see gray taskbars for the baseline. The blue and red taskbars represent the current forecast for the schedule. Another place to see all these values is in the Task Details form. So turn on the Details checkbox, and then click the down arrow. If you see Task Details form in the menu, click it. Otherwise, choose More Views, click Task Details form, and click Apply. And then you'll notice there are three options: current, baseline, and actual. Well, in this case, current is the same as the scheduled values. I'm going to use Identify Additional Cost to show the difference between these values. I'm also going to apply the summary table. Now, scheduled values, when you first start, are the forecast for your project. Basically, it's the plan that you're developing. Then, once the stakeholders approve your plan, you want to save those scheduled values to your baseline. Basically, you take a snapshot of your forecast and turn it into your baseline. And that's the target you're going to aim for the rest of the project. When you save a baseline, it saves start and finish dates, duration, work, and cost. Well, then you start recording actual values once the project gets underway. So to see those, click the Tables button and choose Tracking. And now you can see some of the actual values for these tasks. Down in the Task Details form, you can see them by selecting the Actual option. Once your project is underway, the scheduled values start to update based on the actual values you enter and your forecast for what remains. So for example, this task has an actual start date. And you can see that when I select the current option, the start date is the same. So once you put in an actual start date, the scheduled start date equals that. Once a task is complete, like the estimate costs for tenants, you can see that the scheduled values are the same as the actual values. So in this case, the scheduled value start date is August 18th, and that matches the actual start date. And the scheduled finish date of August 22nd matches the actual finish date. Because Project keeps track of your baseline, actual, and current forecasts, it's easy to keep an eye on whether tasks are ahead of or behind schedule, and whether costs are within or exceeding budget.